Hello everyone, today Scorcher Toys at anymoon.com is transforming the Sentinel Riobot Legioss from fighter mode to diver mode and ultimately ending up in soldier mode. If you're shopping for one of these toys, check out the link in the comments below to head to Big Bad Toy Store. They are largely sold out everywhere at this point, but there is a Zeta pre-order that should be starting soon, and it seems very likely we're going to get a blue reissue sooner than later, so keep an eye on the pre-order link. One thing that's going to happen throughout this video is that this little winglet is going to pop off. It does not attach particularly securely, so just know that that's a thing. Goes right back into position. A little annoying, but not too huge of a deal. To begin transformation, we're going to take one of these arms and we're just going to lift up until that tab underneath comes out of the leg that it is attached to. And if you have a missile pod, really nothing going to change here. Just pull those arms up. Now we are going to separate the heels. We can just apply a little pressure up and away from them. And then once they are separated, pull the leg out. It's got a nice smooth transition to the extended position. And then we can continue with this and go ahead and pull the foot all the way out. There goes that flap I warned about. Once it is out, there is this piece here that rotates inside to fill the cavity that the foot has just slid out of. And then we have this section here, which is really a complicated mechanism we haven't seen on any other Legioss toy before. We're going to bring our VTOL vent up. So if you bought your toy and you just pulled it out for the first time, that's probably already in this position. We're going to take this cover and we're going to pop it up. We are going to grab both sides of the thighs and pull down. And what that has done is it's brought the legs down a little bit, but it's also freed up a swing bar inside this mechanism here, which then we can rotate out. So here you can see the thighs are coming forward, and we can spin this so that they continue to go all the way to the back of the craft. And once we get in this position, we can, here you see it right there, we slide the metal bars forward, and then that locks them in the rearward position. Okay, so now we're going to bring this flap back down and into position. It will lock into place. The instructions say to bring the VTOL vent forward, but I'm pretty sure in diver mode that's actually supposed to be facing backwards to give the vehicle some thrust. And then we're going to rotate our legs so that they are in this position here, and just bring them forward like so. We can get our foot into position next, and the foot you would just open up like you would expect, and you can see the heel is on a slider. You can bring it all the way out and put the heel in this super splayed position and go ahead and repeat on the other side. Now you're in this VTOL position. You do have the ability to sway the legs pretty far forward, but you also do have a pivot point right here to get a super aggressive looking VTOL, and you'll use this in diver mode position as well. So there's a pivot point right here. Bring the leg forward at that point, get your feet nice and flat, put this wing flap back on, and you are at this sort of halfway point. That is pretty fun to look at. There's the next really inventive step of transformation. We're going to pop off the side here and rotate this around, and then come back with it and rotate it underneath the intake like so, freeing up some room on the side of the chest. The first time I did this next step, it was very difficult to accomplish because of how well the wing and the front winglet connected. So what we want to do is separate them a little bit, and then we can bring this piece down into that cavity we just created, and then we can slide the wing forward, and then there's a piece right here that we can bring down like so. Now, put that back on so you get the whole visual aspect. But there you go, and you want to repeat that on the other side. Now you're going to free up the arm by just applying a little pressure up towards the top. As you do this, there's a little hook in this section here that becomes freed up, and we can just pull down to extend the arm, and then we can rotate the arm around like so, and there's the hinge underneath, which is pretty standard that you're used to seeing. And then once you get it on the side, you can just bring the arm down like so. Now we want to get the hands free, and so just grab either side of the forearm with your fingers and pinch, and then pull up on the blue piece here, and you can get it all the way out like so. That will reveal the hand, which is not in the traditional place. We can rotate that through. There is a peg below the wrist that goes into a slot on the opposite side. So as we bring things together, you should feel it tab into position, and at that point you'll be able to move your hand without things falling apart on you. There's also this cavity here, and kind of clever engineering, the vertical stabilizer closes down and then seals in that cavity there, and repeat on the other side. To complete transformation, we are going to flip open this panel here, and you can see it's a little tucked in behind the cockpit, so be careful with how you do that. Flip it over. There is a flap on this side that we can lift up so it doesn't go too far over the edge of the vehicle. Then we can bring the sensor array antenna up and fold it over as we do so. We can pivot it upward, and we can extend it outward like so. All right, you are in diver mode. Now there is some optionality here because there are twist points within the arm. You can have it so the arm or the elbow is like this, or you can rotate things around so that you have the elbow operate so that the booster goes on the outside, that thruster or whatever it is. So you have that option either way, whatever you prefer, you can do. You can do one going one way, the other going the other way, depending on which pose you're going for. But there you go, that's diver mode. Let's continue on to soldier. As we continue on to soldier mode, one thing to point out, the instructions actually don't have you lift up this piece here until you're moving on to soldier mode. Maybe I did it prematurely. I don't see why you would leave it down for diver mode though, so I'll leave that up to you. We are going to turn our toy over now, and we're going to free up that head, which is tucked in pretty well, and it does tell you to be careful about scraping the back of the head or the front of the head as you do this. So you want to get that free, bring it up and out like so. Once you do, you can fit up a finger underneath, and there's a little peg in the front of the cockpit, and what we want to do is press up to free the whole cockpit area and bring it up like so. Okay, now we're going to lift up this flap in the front. I'm pushing back a little bit, trying to get a fingernail in there to pull it open like so. And then once it's open, we can shimmy it forward. Then we can take our flaps on either side of the nose cone here, and we're just going to pull them out and down. So there's a little peg you can see in the front that goes into a housing on the side here, so we can just pull that away. There's the slot that it went into. And then that frees up this entire nose cone section. So we can take our cockpit now, bring it down nice and tight into that section there. So it's in there like so, which then allows us to bring our swing bar back. And you can see it terminates at some point. And where it terminates, you should be able to flip it up and over the cockpit like so, and you'll be in this position here. Now it's time to get these pieces into position, and start with the one that has the button on it that's gonna come out. We're gonna rotate it back, get it to about here, lay it flat, and then that allows you to twist it pretty easily. Watch out for your sensor array there. Get it into this position here, which is the final position. And once you've got it about in, you can reach a fingernail in there if you're lucky. I hate doing this on video, believe me. There it goes, so that came out. So there's my peg, and then I can bring this one around. Same idea, spin it so it's flat, and then spin it back around, pivot it out, and then I'm gonna tab the slot and the tab that I just pulled out together like so. And there you go, and there is gonna be a little fin on the nose cone that is right at the base of those finlets. I think we're in Orgus mode now. What we're gonna do next is fix the feet. So bring your leg down, bring both legs down, and we're gonna take our foot and we're gonna slide it in and bring it down, bring down the front of the foot, bring up the toe like so, and do the same thing with the other foot. Next, we are going to bring our head up and into position and rotate the chest pieces so that they move forward. So just spin it like so, pretty smooth and easy movement to the back. We have these pieces underneath, and we can take them now and pivot them to the back of the toy, just like so. And when they are in the back, we can then take our wings, our little extensions of the wings, and bring them forward and in to make the back of soldier mode. Now we want to move the arms all the way forward into their soldier mode position, and right here is sort of the diver area where it settles. To get it all the way forward for soldier, you take the chest and you pivot it. There it goes. And so it's a very small adjustment, hopefully you heard it, but what that does is it clears up more space here so that this swings all the way forward into that position. So you can see on this side, this arm much further back than on the other side. We take this and we pivot it up and in, and then that creates a little bit of space to bring that arm all the way forward. Now we need to move the thighs into the right position, and we're going to do that by first extending them down a little bit. Again, we're freeing up that pivot point. We need to bring our cover on the crotch forward too. So again, I got to get a fingernail in here and just kind of pull forward on it. There it goes. So that's forward. I can then bring the legs forward like so. And I'm going to rotate them a little bit as I do this here. Let's not put that all the way down. We're going to bring these forward and bring the legs down as I do it. And then we want to keep them going all the way in a circle here, folks. We're going to bring them back. So now they are in that back position. So it started pointing down, we rotated it forward, up, and now they are in the furthest back position. And once they are back here, we can pull forward on the thighs and it will lock that bar into position. So there we go. You saw that metal bar just slid into position right there, locking the thighs in their position. We can now bring that VTOL vent back out and bring the cover down, and now our thighs are in the proper position. Turn your toy around, open up these back wings here. I just brought these to the back without much care in the beginning. We can bring them up higher now, right behind the top point here. Just gonna get them into position, and they should snug in right behind this piece here, and that'll be nice and high, and it will reduce how much you can see them from the front of the vehicle. And then there is a lock right here, and we want to get our fingernails on that lock and pull it down. It's very stiff, but there you go. You can see now there's a gap between the white and the blue portions, and I can actually take the toy and lean it forward or twist it, and then we want to just bring these wings back shut again. Turning the toy back around, we're going to go ahead and pull this chest piece forward, and then we're going to grab our included closed intake fan detail pieces. They have a little peg on the bottom. There's a little slot inside the intake, and you have to get that peg in there perfectly seated or these will fall out. They are pretty finicky and they are not the tightest fit. So I have to get it in there, and then I have to push down on it to really get it to stay into position. All right, you are now in soldier mode. Congratulations. Fine-tuning the sensor array, very easily knocked askew or pushed in. You might have to pull that back out. Antenna clearly could be a problem. Your shoulders have some funky stuff that they can do. These are free floating on a more complex joint, so get them exactly how you want them now. And then turning the toy around, these things might have popped apart, or anything could be askew in the back. So just double check everything. Should look nice and solid like this. Check out my full review on anymoon.com, subscribe, and thanks for watching.